Hey there everyone, welcome back to Bloodborne. Previously, we used the Crown of Illusions to find the Vile Blood Queen's chamber, where we met Queen Annalise of the Vile Bloods, so Queen of the Vile Bloods. They're essentially a group of bloodthirsty hunters that would target the Healing Church hunters in her name. After pledging our loyalty to Annalise, we found an unopened summons and handed it over to Alfred. Now, we learned that Alfred was a member of the executioners that were once led by Ligarius and slaughtered everyone at Canehurst except for the immortal Annalise because she cannot die. So naturally, Alfred quickly made his way to Canehurst, ground Annalise into hamburger, and then committed suicide so that he and Ligarius would become true martyrs. So, you gotta love that Canehurst ground beef. Of course, we took the queenly flesh of Annalise to the Altar of Despair, where we originally fought Ebrietas, and we revived her, completing our betrayal of two groups. We betrayed both of them. Altogether, I would say that reviving Annalise was the karmic evil in comparison, and of course that's just the way things go in these games. We always do crappy things without realizing we're doing them, or we do it because we want to do them. Either way, we still don't know why we received the Canehurst summons in the first place. Perhaps we have some relation to the Vile Bloods. That's my guess, and which would also be ironic. But I don't know if there's any true way to figure that out. Now that we've cleared the last area of the waking world, we can turn our attention to the nightmare realms. Therefore, let us start by making our way to Yarhagul Chapel and see what the Tonsil Stone has in store for us. Now, first, let's check out the Tonsil Stone, because it's been a bit. Tonsil Stone, a latiste, deformed rock, or perhaps a meteorite. So people think it's funny. I know, like, most people say lattice, or lettuce. No, not lettuce. Lattice. My mind always goes to lattice, and I can't get myself to stop saying that. I'm sure many people watching me play games over the years have realized that I do not say words properly sometimes on purpose. I think that's one. I think I've just got hooked on saying it that way. And so people now laugh at me for it. Anyways, back to the game. Appears useless, but possesses some odd gravitational force that prevents its riddance. A dubious soul once said, "Step lightly round to the right of the Grand Cathedral and seek an ancient shrouded church. The gift of the Godhead will grant you strength." And that is your hint on where to go. So we need to head up to the Grand Cathedral and turn our attention towards the Unseen Village, at the area that I typically refer to as Yarhagul Chapel. I don't think it's the true chapel, but that's just what I refer to because it looks like one. And if you recall, that area is where we first saw the Amygdalas. So, let us head up to the Grand Cathedral. We're going to take a right at the Grand Cathedral, and we're going to go check out the big boy. I have a huge space in my notes to the next page. I must have a lot of notes for the Nightmare Realms. I actually need to start stepping on it because stepping on it. That doesn't sound right when you have no idea what I'm talking about. That doesn't even not sound right. That just sounds like nonsense. I need to step on it is what I'm going to stick with though, because I think people know what that means. Because I am behind on my notes. I have not started finalizing my Hunter's Nightmare notes yet. So that is the building it's referring to. Was there a way to drop down here without dying? Oh, that's not high. Whoa! Okay, I didn't die. Everything's fine. Everything's fine here. Wow, half my health bar's gone. I don't think that's going to be a problem, right? We did drop something. think we got both of the Wandering Madness dudes here. So I don't know if I need to really bother with this guy. So this is probably going to seem like a really stupid idea. But we're going to let him grab us. We're going to let her grab us, sorry. It's probably a her. Most of the Great Ones, and I do believe these to be true Great Ones, hence the statues in the Grand Cathedral and in the Unseen Village. We're going to let her grab us and see what happens.
Oh, Amygdala. Oh, Amygdala. Have mercy on the poor bastard.
All right, so that is what the Tonsil Stone is for, is to take us to this location. So it said the lecture building. This is, for reasons that will probably seem obvious when we start getting to notes and stuff down the line, because I don't think there's any here in particular. This place is highly thought to be the lecture building, or a lecture building. I don't know if it's just the lecture building or if there's several, but I think it's thought to be a lecture building from Byrgenwerth College. So, you know, when we were in Byrgenwerth, I always just assumed that was kind of a small place for a college, so I imagine there was more places there that we just didn't have access to or couldn't see. So I think this is supposed to be like a Nightmare Realm version of Byrgenwerth, essentially, of Byrgenwerth College. So let us light up our lantern, because this place is a bit dark. So this place is feeling very scholarly. I feel right at home here. In fact, I think when we come... No, I don't think we'll be coming back too much later. Let's see, lantern first. There are 2 levels to the lecture building. So we are on level 1. So, just a few things about this place. I had mentioned this early on, but as soon as you get the Tonsil Stone from the character out in the Forbidden Forest, you can come here pretty much right away. You just go to the Amygdala and it'll grab you and bring you here. And at that point of the game, once you're finished with the Forbidden Forest, you're probably at a level good enough to take this place on. However, the place is awful. Not the lecture building, the place beyond it. We're going to the Nightmare Frontier. The place is awful. It's not a bad place, like, design-wise. It's not even a bad place enemy-wise. It's kind of cool in many ways, but it's just really irritating. And that'll make much more sense once I'm there. And it's just easier this way. Just do it this way. If you want to upgrade weapons sooner, you do get access to chunks here earlier. But honestly, I'm like, it's not worth it. just do it now. Just wait. If you're way back in the Forbidden Forest, just wait. Okay. You can see him.
What a joy it is to behold the divine. It must be such a pleasure. You're in my debt, you know. You're nigh on a beast of the field. But here you are, treading a measure with the gods.
So that is the character, notice I'm not giving names, that gave us the Tonsil Stone to begin with. That's the voice you could hear after the Amygdala picked us up. And I said when we were out in the forest, that voice should sound familiar. I'm not going to say who it is yet until we meet him face to face. But even his face looks familiar if you look at it through the door. His body has changed. But if you're familiar with Dark Souls and Demon's Souls, you should know who that is. Well, not that you should know who that is, but you might know who that is based on the voice and appearance. And eventually, the behaviors will make that clear. So let's scope this place out. It's not very big. So I said this is kind of a nightmare realm of Byrgenwerth. So you're going to find scholars here. They're not very tough at this point unless you're coming here early. You can kill them pretty easily. Sometimes they hang around on ceilings. So if I'm looking up, that's why. I'm not really seeing anything here. So in my notes, I have 3 items we need to find. One of them is a key, so the first one should be a key. Oop! There you go. Okay, so that tells you how OP I am. He died in 1 hit. Who cares? And like I said, it's not even like the enemies or the design or anything. Well, the design's part of it, but there we go, student uniform. And lecture theater key, okay. It's more the design of the area and how it inhibits your ability to do certain things. And that'll make more sense as we get through. And again, I'm not referring to the lecture hall. I'm referring to those doors right there, or that door right there, straight ahead of me. Okay, let's go in here. Yeah, there's one on the ceiling there. There are some really cool enemy designs coming up here too, though. Okay, I should be looking for one more item. We have a Hunter's Craft item. I don't think there's any notes here. I think they're all up on the upper level. Just 2 levels to this place. This is probably it. No, it's not. That is actually important, though. I should have had those written down. Red jelly is used for chalice dungeons, or chalice rituals. It must be in the lecture hall. Oh, it's in the theater, derp. That's what the key was for. I'm kind of a derp. I don't think there's anything on this side. I do believe there are doors here, though. There we go. Okay. So, if you were to come in here earlier on, this would probably be a little bit problematic. But not anymore. Oh, we can break the desk, or break the chairs. Oh. Why are you juicing at me? Why are you splooging on me? No. They're just spreading juice all over. What are you doing? You know, we run into squirters in the Unseen Village, and now we run into squirters in Byrgenwerth. What is going on? Everything just wants to splooge on me. Okay, I think I saw a chest. Great chest ahead. Amazing chest. It's amazing chest, right? If you know that one, you're probably a Dark Souls fan. That's a classic. I remember when I first heard Great Chest Ahead, I swear I sat there like for 5 minutes looking for. I was like, "What chest? I don't see any chest." And then finally I looked up and I was like, "Oh, I get it. I get it now." Augur of Ebrietas. So this is the last item we need here. And that brings us a little bit of lore, even though I think we've already talked about it. But I have to read the other items too. So let's go down to the doorway and then we'll take a look at them. So we have a new outfit that I'm going to talk a bit about later. Or I'm going to bring up again later. One thing I do want to say about the outfits is there's a few outfits I did not try on last time. I forgot to put them on. Like, I bought them and then I completely forgot to put them on. Executioners being one of them. We're going to ignore those for now. We're going to come back to them later. I have a specific side set a time, a specific spot set aside. Wow, I cannot talk. I have set aside some time where we will take a look at them. Student uniform. Uniform of the students of Byrgenwerth. A bygone institute. A bygone institute learning? I think that's supposed to be a bygone institute of learning. This alternative lacks the thick cape, because I think we had a previous version with a cape. I think we've already got the cape version. That or we're going to get another one of these. The Healing Church has its roots in Byrgenwerth, and naturally borrows heavily from its uniform design. The focus not on knowledge or thoughts, but on pure pretension, would surely bring Master Willem to despair if only he knew. And student trousers, so a bygone institute of learning. That look, they fixed it in this one. It's of learning in this one, so I was right. Student uniform equals uniform of the students. How college students don't plagiarize. Yep, that is exactly how that works. Let's see. Which one was the new key? Lecture theater. Okay, lecture theater key. Key to the lecture theater in the lecture building. Look, more lack of plagiarism. Today, the two-story lecture building is adrift in the nightmare. But once it was a place of reflection where scholars learned of history and archaeology. Perhaps it still is, as the students in the lecture theater appear to await the return of their professor. I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at that. That is clever. I'm glad that's in this video now. Having you here has brought out the best of the game. So, let's be honest here. Nobody is sitting in class waiting for the professor. They're looking at their watch and thinking, okay, 15, 20 minutes and we can leave, right? That's what they're thinking. Then you show up at the 20-minute mark and they all kind of just start groaning. So that is why this place is associated as Byrgenwerth. They're literally saying that with the key. So that's why I was saying it's very strongly suggested that this is Byrgenwerth, but in the Nightmare Realm. So we're not actually at Byrgenwerth physically. We're at a version of Byrgenwerth in the Nightmare Realm. So, anyways, those relate to the lecture building specifically. The other item we have is the Augur of Ebrietas, which is a really cool item if I'm recalling what this one does. Augur of Ebrietas, remnant of the Eldritch truth encountered at Byrgenwerth. Use phantasms, the invertebrates known to be augurs of the Great Ones, to partially summon abandoned Ebrietas. The initial encounter marked the start of an inquiry into the cosmos from within the old labyrinth and led to the establishment of the choir. So, Ebrietas must have given this to the choir members, and that actually comes up a little bit later with the School of Mensis. I'm going to comment on that a little bit as long as I remember. So now previously I had mentioned the phantasms. So it says how the phantasms are invertebrates, and like I said, if you look at this, it's clearly a gastropod. It's a slug-like organism. So, which I think is kind of cool. We got more squishies here. But it says that the phantasms partially summon abandon Ebrietas. And you can use this even though Ebrietas is technically gone. And again, this goes back to Ebrietas having the connection with the Great Ones and why they were learning from her. So, I'm going to drink some more tea. We're going to press into the door. Everybody always accidentally goes for that door before checking the place out, and I always feel bad for them if they don't do it, because they're like, no, wait. Alright, so you should get a trophy called Nightmare Lecture Building for entering this place to begin with. You want to scope out the whole building before you go to these doors, which are down at the end of the hallway from where we started, because once we do, we are going to be sucked into the Nightmare Frontier. Right. So I've got notes for this place. I'm not exactly going to probably be able to follow them 100% because it is kind of it's kind of a different place. It's real easy to get lost here. I got lost while I was taking the notes, so. So I'm just going to forewarn that if you skipped ahead to this place just sucks, alright? There's no way around it. Alright, so first of all, environmental design. You get caught up on tombstones everywhere, because some of them don't break, and they just get in your way, and it's really freaking annoying. The other thing is in true Soulsborne fashion, there's a poison pool here. We're going to try to avoid going down there until I'm ready to go down there, but if you fall in, it's not the end of the world. You might want to equip antidotes, but you don't drain that quickly, so just have them ready in case you need them. You don't really need your lantern anymore, but I'm just going to leave mine on. We're going to be out in the light, so. Oh, there you are. I missed it. I was like, what's running at me? It wasn't running at me. So, this is the Nightmare Realm, the first of the 3 Nightmare Realms that we're going to go to. So a couple of things I want to point out is that in the distance, first of all, we can see the end of this place. It's that kind of island down there, and there's a bridge connecting it to here. That's our kind of target goal for the Nightmare Frontier. If you look in the distance off to the right here, and straight ahead if I look this way, you will notice a bunch of ship masts. That is actually connected to another level of the Nightmare Realm that we will get to much later. And I'm going to mention that again. I think that is really cool. It's a really cool connection point between the Nightmare Realms. As far as I know, with the exception of like the lecture building, every Nightmare Realm in this world is connected. So like the mass area, this area, and there should be another one. Let me get up a little higher. Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. Let's go over here. I thought for some reason it was off in the other direction. If you look above my head, you can see a building. I'm pretty sure, I do believe that is Murgo's Loft, which is a place we're going to go to in the next Nightmare Realm, which we will get to. We will get there today. So these worlds are really, really strangely connected, but really interestingly connected. So that's one thing I wanted to point out before we kind of get into this place, is that all the Nightmare Realms are connected to each other, and the connection is one through the ship masts from a lower level to Murgo's Loft on the upper level, which is above my head. So kind of cool if you ask me. Now these are silver beasts. I think they're called dark silver beasts or silver dark beasts or something like that. They kind of have sideways faces, which is really creepy, and they conduct they're dark beasts, so they conduct electricity. So they're not going to be a problem here if you're at this level, but they can be quite dangerous. You want to avoid them when they start sparking, because they will shock you. But otherwise, they're not too bad. Don't fall into the poison pit, please. Okay, alright. So, like I said, this place is kind of a maze. So, this is where we started off, and we're kind of heading out generally in that direction towards the mountains that go up to Murgo's Loft. We're not actually going up there from here. We're going to go up there from a different location. But that's kind of the direction we're heading in. Now, I said this place really sucks. Like, this is kind of the crap that gets annoying. It's this. You get caught on these everywhere. But with me being a little bit OP right now, it's going to make this a lot more manageable. And this is our actual shortcut to the end area. And that elevator is really easy to fall off of, so don't play around on it too much. So let's clear this place out, because this place... Ooh, I want to... No, I want to... Just twin bloodstone shards. And if you look down here, this is where you don't want to slip, because that's the poison pool. And there's some very Cthulhu-y creatures down there. They're actually kind of cool. I do believe that buildup was for fast poison. I think. The poison pool is a slow poison, which means it drains your health slowly. Fast poison is just more immediate damage. I think I can go up there. I don't know if I can go up there from here. I do believe there's a hunter around here. I'm going to make sure I scope this area completely before I go down all the way. I feel very inconspicuous with the lantern on. Turning it off. Okay, so there's kind of a trail up here. And that is actually another shortcut right there. We have to walk over that a bit later. I'm going to try to navigate this as smooth as possible. This is actually not a bad place to use your coins. Where are you? I know you're around here. There's 2 hunters, I think. There's one. If you play this online, this is also a place where people tend to invade a lot. Okay, he's not going to be a problem. And again, that kind of gives you an idea of how OP we are at this point. Lead elixir. Because usually hunters are quite a tough fight if you're not leveled enough. And there's more poison pool. So one thing that's kind of interesting here, and you do see this in the Chalice dungeons as well, is you see the little lantern here with the messenger next to it. They do put up the lanterns to mark your path, so if you see them, you've been to that location before. I believe that's how they work. It's the same in the Nightmare Realms and the Chalice dungeons. So in this place, it looks like on my list, we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runes we need to get here, and one Hunter's Craft. And I really should have changed my runes up, because we got some enemies here that I don't care how leveled you are, they can be a pain in the butt. But I think I can handle it. If you have the ability to put on Frenzy Resist, which I don't know if we have any of those yet, I suggest doing it. That looks like blood and sinew. That is interesting. So there's a silver dark beast down here. Dark silver beast. I don't remember which is which. Oh, he's in doggle mode. Oh, he's about to spark me. Blood vials. We'll go down that in a second. There's 2 ways we can go here. We're not going that way. We will go this way, though. I do believe there's an item up here. I don't think I actually need to jump for that. I probably could have just rolled over the edge. Fading Lake. Okay, yeah, it's our first rune. And that's in order that I have it. Look at me. Such a good boy. I did things right. Let's go try the tunnel first. Because I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of stuff before we go this way. Because this is the poison lake, the big one. And I'd rather go into the tunnel first. Look, another lantern with a messenger. He's just sitting there, all prim and proper. Oh, come back. That is bait. Okay, watch out for the boulder throwing dudes. They're all over the place, and it's a one-hit kill. And there's more than one of them, usually about 3 or 4 when you find them. I can hear a Wandering Madness getting away. I saw it get away, actually. Oh! Okay, look how much health came down on that. Where did that come from? Okay. Where are you? Oh, there he is. Okay. Oh my god, come on. See, this is why this place sucks. This is why this place sucks. So, he's straight across the way from us. Let's see. I need to get over there. Problem is I don't remember exactly how. Well, we'll figure it out. Cold Blood Flower Bud. Good. That's for rituals. And... oh. I don't remember getting you. Oh, I must have... that's the first one I jumped. That's the bait. That was the bait that pulled me out. See, I already got turned around. I literally didn't even go that far. Now, I know I'm not the brightest, but... okay, big boy's gonna keep throwing rocks at me if I don't do something about it. I think there's a bridge over here and a shortcut. Okay. I don't want to get hit by that. Okay, there's the bridge. Alright, good, we're clear. Now, there should be the shortcut somewhere around here as well, I think. I just don't remember exactly where. I'm gonna scope for items first, though. We're still over the poison area. We're just in, like, the kind of stream-like area. So we will go down there eventually. I want to go up higher first, though. I think the shortcuts around the bend from where I just was a bit ago, so now we're gonna save you. I don't think there's anything over here. I think we're good. Okay, let's go back across the bridge. I gotta get to higher ground. And so if you want to get down to the poison area, either side works. I like the broken up headstone with the blood and viscera in it. I think that is such a cool design. See, the one on the left is kind of normal, the one on the right is kind of broken up. We're going to see that design again, too, in the Hunter's Dream, because the headstone that comes to the Nightmare Realms is split. Which I think is really cool. Oh, big guy. No. Okay, so I've only missed, what, 1 or 2 so far? That's not bad. I'm not too worried about getting the little guys, but if they're in my vicinity, I'm going to grab them. So let's see, we just came through here, right? Again, it's really easy to get turned around here, so pardon me if it takes me a bit. Okay, we want to go up, I think, before we go across. So this is our shortcut back to the lantern, which is somewhere back that way. Oh look, somebody's marked a path across the way. There's a giant spider up to the right. Nothing could go wrong there, right? And if you notice, the spider has a human head. So, I'm going to run up quick, and then we will head down that way. Just FYI, these bigger Wandering Madness are quite violent. They're still like the other ones where they want to get away from you, but they are going to defend themselves more viciously. So just keep that in mind. Can't remember if there's anything over here. No. Huh? Unless I can't get up down here. I can't get up down here. Okay. Okay. Let's not read into that. I think the rest of what we need to do is in the poison pool from there. I don't think I'm missing anything here. Let's go across the bridge. Second bridge, so now we're higher up. I don't think... Again, that's about as close up as I can probably get to him. I guess I can use the monocular for once. If I have it. I put it away, didn't I? I finally put the monocular away. And then I remember to use it. I am special. I am so special. Okay, on the hopes that I do not die, let's get rid of these guys. So this is the open poison pool. When I was looking at the open pool earlier, this is essentially the same spot. If you look in the distance, you can see a giant out in the middle of the pool and one on the far back right side. Those are the only two, I believe, that are in this area, but there may be one below us that I'm forgetting. Like I said, they usually come in groups of 2, or groups of 3 or 4. But we came down here, basically off to the left, over there, kind of around where that tunnel is, maybe a little further off to the right. We would have, kind of further back is where we were looking at this place. So we'll kind of get down there eventually. Just want to make sure I'm not falling off anything here. Clockwise metamorphosis. Okay, good. I'm still in order here of what I wanted to do. Now, this wouldn't be a bad place to actually drop down and grab stuff, but we're going to go up first, and then we're going to revisit this area, and we'll drop down here and get that item if I can't find another way to get out there. 'Cause offhand, I can't think of a way to get down there. So we're going to follow the trail. So if you see the shiny coins here, that led down to where the spider was above. So if you've played Dark Souls, you know exactly what's going to happen here. You know exactly what's going to happen here.
Scam! The gift of the Godhead cometh!
Okay, yeah, so we're in the poison pool. Alright, I think we're going to go that way, but I want to just check over here really quick. There's a certain enemy we want to watch out for in these tunnels. I think this is going out to the poison pool. Yeah, it is. Okay, we don't want to go this way quite yet. There's some tunnels here that lead to enemies called winter lanterns. They're very, very deadly, and I'm not equipped to deal with them right now because we need our sedatives for that. We might have a fighting chance, but with the poison, I'm not putting money on myself for that. I should have actually put those on already. Now, don't let these enemies fool you. I mean, they look scary AF, but they also can be quite dangerous, so if you don't already have a healthy fear of them, just be aware that they can cause some damage. Are you alive? I think that's the giant. They want my attention. Okay. So you might notice I have both slow and fast poison. Slow is the purple. So once that bar reaches, that's when my health is draining. Fast poison is the red. If that hits, I think it's just a direct damage. If I'm not mistaken. Ah, there she is. Okay. I am not equipped for this. I am not equipped for this. That back there is a winter lantern. I don't have any of my resistance stuff on, so this might not end well for me. And she's ready to snack on me here. Okay. Okay. No. Okay, so she is way easier in this mode than she is in the other realms when she's more at your level. If you notice when that frenzy bar was building when she looked at me, oh, and there's the item I needed. The frenzy bar was building as soon as she saw me, basically. And if it fills, you automatically lose a huge percentage of health. And they get so difficult later on. Like, I was able to kill her in that process. That's not always going to happen. So just be aware that they are awful. And let's get out of this poison pool, because this is going to be the death of us, literally. That's what I say every time I have to go out in public where people are, I'm not equipped for this. Yeah, I feel that. I don't like people either. No offense, people. It's not like that. Okay, I need to get out of the pool. I need to stop using my antidotes too. So let's try and take out the giant. Yeah, before they kill me. Any over here? I don't see any over here. Oh dear lord. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. Okay. Things are trying to kill me. Frenzied cold blood is always good. Alright, I'm probably going to use up a bit of my health here, but I just want to take them out and not have to run back here. I just don't want to die, okay? I think we can all agree on that with our, with how we feel about our own lives. If we don't, then you should, please seek help. Talk to somebody. Okay, he's not getting very far with that, so. Sea kelp or sea kelp? Clear deep sea. Oh, yes, okay. So we have everything except one rune and just general supplies here. Alright, I am really running out of health here, so... If somebody could start dropping blood vials, that would be amazing. Oh wow, I'm fully stuck. Okay, so instead of, you know... Actually, I don't know what I was going to say there. I have to wonder what sort of trauma Miyazaki has in life. Miyazaki and Poison Lakes is really... Yeah, Miyazaki loves his Poison Lakes. Over time, you just kind of get used to them. Okay, anything... I'm going to use my antidotes up here because I want to clear this place. And I don't want to have to go back to the start. Nope. Everything just wants to squirt juice at me. Look, it's not my fault they're squirting juice at me. I can't help that doesn't sound appropriate. Wait, where's that? Where's that? No! You little... Sorry. Okay, I think I can make it through this. There's one thing I am concerned about. Clint, you know what I'm referring to. Okay. I don't think I missed anything here except for the above spot area, above spot items, but I can't get to them right now. And I'm thinking let's go for the shortcut first, and then we'll run back here, just so I have access to it and I don't have to come back here after that. Okay, let's get out of here. I can survive with a couple vials, I think. Just use that. I'm gonna need to use another one anyway. I only need a few more, so I can restock. I can restock for where I want to go next. If I can get the shortcut. Okay, there's the next lantern. She's my concern, basically. I can get to the lantern if I can get past her. So, one thing about the winter lanterns, while she's making her approach to me, if you look very closely at her, she is designed very similar to the doll. I'm not sitting in front of her long enough for you to see that. Sorry. You can take the boss with 2 vials. That's not what I meant. I was worried about her. I'm not worried about the boss. Is that bad? I'm not worried about her. It's like I'm not worried about the big boss. I'm worried about this little boss. I think that's a big one here. Lots of cold blood, which is good. We're building up some echoes. I could probably get about possibly close to 3 levels with what I have so far. You'll notice too when I was around the winter lanterns, they sing. Watch out, there's a ledge here. I believe there's another lantern down there. Oh, no, there's another one. I think I heard one behind me, too. Yeah, I can hear the lantern singing. I think there's one more winter lantern in the... Hear it? Where are you? She must have walked away. Okay, so that's the location where the fight is. Like I said... Oh, there she is again. Yeah, we're not going to deal with her. She's a later issue. Let's go for the shortcut. Again, I cannot remember if they're called Silver Dark Beasts or Dark Silver Beasts. I want to say Silver Dark Beast. He's not going to like me. Oh look, I got lots of vials now. Okay, which way are you going, bud? Tomato, potato. I'm just going to go Silver Dark Beast. If you don't like it, tomato, potato. Or is it tomato, potato? Somebody out there is cringing if they actually hear that, right? Okay, shortcut. First thing we're going to do is return back to that area we were just at. So we're going to go to the poison pool. Oh no, how do I get that? Oh, that's the place I'm going to. Never mind. Never mind, I didn't say that. I didn't realize you could see it so clearly from here. Sorry, I should have pointed this out earlier. I completely forgot. There he is. There's the spider. So I will reveal who the spider is in the next episode if you don't figure it out. Oh no, did I miss that too? Oh no. Items. Nope, oh, okay. Look, more stuff I'm not going to use. Ah. There's the shortcut, okay. The other shortcut, because we just took one. The other shortcut. So this time, the spider should not mess with us. At least I've never had him do it before. Not saying that it's impossible. Oh my god, how did I get that? No, game. Oh, I can actually walk right up there. Never mind. And, oh, I have enough blood. Oh, don't you dare disappear on me. See what I mean about getting lost here? Okay, I don't think I want to go... I think I do want to go down there, just not from here. I think there's a tunnel. Yeah, this is the tunnel I was talking about dropping down at. This is where the first giant was in the poison pool area. So he was here, hence the blood in his body. And the others are dead, so... And there's an item here that we did not have access to. Stunning deep sea. Okay. Okay, I gotta check my runes quick. Well, actually not quick. I'll just run through here while I'm here. I need to check and make sure I've gotten everything. That's kind of what I wanted to say there. Do I have access to this place before? No, more places. Oh my god, how do I get there? Did I just like... Did I... Oh no, item. Oh no. How do I get you? I bet that was the place I could have dropped down. I am stupid. I am really stupid. Okay. I should... But if I dropped down there, I would have missed the other item anyway, right? Okay. Well, let's not beat me up for that, alright? Let's find a way to backtrack. Again. While the place is clear of enemies. Oh, look! I can just go right there. Into the poison pool. We'll try dropping down and see if that fixes the issue. Before the poison gets us, please. Okay. Oh no, if you get all the way over there too. I have a feeling I'm gonna get poisoned anyway, so I'll just get my antidote out. Okay, I wasn't that far away, I guess. And I'm still holding my torch, like, why? Okay, now I need to figure out how to get back. Again, this place is a maze. Not amazing, a maze. There we are. I think. Oh wait, I can't get up there, can I? Oh no. Yes, I can. I'm farther back than I realize. I'm farther back than I realize. Now here's the question. Do we tackle the other poison pool before I go back to the Hunter's Dream, or do we... I mean, do we chance that? Or do we go back and use the echoes? There is a Winter Lantern in there. This could be death. Okay, how do I do this? Tell me I can get to that item. I don't know which way I'm... Oh, probably this way. Please be. Haha! Gotcha. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. Okay, I don't know if I want to go back to the poison pool before re-equipping. I feel like we should go back to the lantern first. Okay, so let's use a Bolt Hunter's Mark, if I have them. We're going to start back at the lantern, check out the poison area. Honestly, I think I will just hold on to my souls, my echoes, because I don't think I'm actually going to die here, but I do want to restock. So I'm going to do a quick warp back to the Hunter's Dream just to restock my blood vials, and I think I can make it by with the rest of the stuff I have. Alright, so we are restocked. Just because we're going to be potentially dealing with some Winter Lanterns and poison, again, just antidotes, sedatives, whatever you have. I'm going to take this off so I can switch back between them quick. I don't really have much in antidotes. I probably have some in storage, but I'm not terribly worried about them. It's more about having blood vials to fight the poison off. Now, if you're here at a lower level, just those few swings are not going to kill him, so just, again, beware of the bolt attack. It's going to hit you, and it's probably not going to feel good. So let's scope this area out. I do believe there's some cold blood around here that we can collect in the pool. You don't have to get everything, but again, I like to try and collect as much as possible. Oh. He just had to disappear on me. Okay, let's get the rest of that. No! I'm hooked. I might not be able to get up there from here. Ooh, that was worth it, though. Oh, no, I can. Okay, anything over here? Ooh, that was that was close. Gave him a leg up on me there. So I'm just, again, just checking for supplies. I don't remember exactly what's all around here. Well, Hunter's Mark. Fortuitous, if you don't have any. Not exactly a great place to find them, but... I mean, like, if you really need them. Can I go over here and not die? Probably not very far. Okay, let's go into the tunnels. I think if there's just one winter lantern. I think. Oh, I kind of want to try and kill everything, so... Oh, that was close. That does a lot of extra poison, doesn't it? And that's not slow poison, so... And I'm gonna save those from now on. At least a bit. So where are you? She's over here, isn't she? Yeah. Okay, that... I've never had that happen before. They've always picked up on me being there. Even when I was OP before, I don't remember that ever happening, but you know what? I'm gonna take it. Let's not complain. Maybe there's a second lantern and I'm just not remembering. Okay. Oh boy. Don't want to get hit by that. Alright. What were you guarding? 10 cold blood, 10. Ooh, that's ROM level, isn't it? That's what ROM dropped, I think. And this must go to the upper level. No, maybe not. Dead end otherwise. I'm not hearing singing. There we go. That's our room. Okay. I think we are done with this area and we can move on to bigger, better things. So, Clint, if you're listening, should we go for the boss? And hope I make it out? Think I can manage in about 10 or 11 vials? Do we dare the echoes in this? It's kind of a risk, but I feel like I'm so OP at this point. Like, it's no, okay. How do I get up? Let's go here. Oh, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. There we go. That one. Okay. All right. Might as well try. It is the last thing we need to do here, so... If I die, I die. So, we don't really need much here for supplies. I'm going to re-equip my lantern. And what else do we have? Wallpaper or fire paper? Do I bother? I think I think pretty much anything works on what we're about to go up against. Fire paper, bull paper, or the phantasm shell. I think they all work a little bit. In fact, I've learned that the phantasm shell can actually deal quite a bit, but I don't have the ability to use that. So I think let's just go fire. I don't want to use my bull paper. I don't remember it making a huge difference, but let's try that, I think. So, so we're about to go up against, I don't know if you can see it. No, you cannot. We're about to go up against a rather large fight here. It can go either way. I would say it's not a terribly difficult fight, but it's also very easy to just die. So we're going to be fighting one of the Amygdalas. It's a younger one, so it's not a fully matured one. Keep in mind they have several arms, so I think about total they have about 8 limbs almost. 6 to 8 limbs, somewhere in there. Through the first stage of the battle, you're mostly dealing with it trying to smash you, and possibly using some laser attacks. Eventually it's going to tear off its couple of its arms and start coming at you from a greater distance, and it just gets really violent. There's a few strategies you can use for this. One thing it does that really you can kind of use it to kind of tank it is that it will jump up into the air if you are behind it, and it will land almost exactly like in perfect position for you to just smash the thing in the head, which is its weak spot. One thing that really helps is that the hands are also weak, and that's one thing that actually helped me with this in the Defiled Dungeon, because once you get to the Defiled Chalice Dungeon, you have to fight a version of this that's way harder. It's probably, in my opinion, probably one of the hardest fights in the game. It took me so long to get through that, and knowing that the arms can take some serious damage was really useful. Now, there is another attack. It's a bit of a risk, but it's a bit safer in some ways. You got to be pretty tactful about it, and if you want to just, but the idea is that if you want to use this, is to kind of stay underneath the boss, a little bit towards the back, and go for the tail, essentially. The issue with that, though, is the boss does these attacks where it will just start stomping the ground around it because it can't reach you, and it just may circumstantially hit you, and it can be a one-hit kill depending on your level. So that's something you really want to watch out for if you want to go that method. Plus, you're not going to deal like virtually much damage at all when you're going for the tail. You can build it up over time. It does work. The problem is you're probably going to get smashed to death in the process by the time you make any serious use of that. So it's best to go for the head and the arms if you can. Even when I was in the Defiled Dungeon, the best way for me to actually take it out was to go face first against it, but in the Defiled Dungeon, it's pretty much a one-hit kill if it hits you. So we'll deal with that later when we get there. This should be a lot easier. I don't recommend going in with half vials, but we'll just see how this works. I'm gonna go for distance on this. Yeah, alright, got me. Come on, slam those babies in. Alright, so you can see the damage that I already did. In just the one hit. Watch the juices. Come on, boy. actually a really good fight to use Ludwig's on for the distance it has and the damage output. Ooh, visceral. There you go. Head hits. No! He got reached out, he tore his arms off, so watch for the swings. Come on. You gonna hit down? No. Oh, no. Definitely not. Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, no, no. Oh, okay. That was my bad. That was my bad. Yeah, that was my bad. I didn't realize she had me backed up against the corner. By the time I realized it, she was coming down on me with those, I don't know what I would call them, kind of like a cosmic smash of sorts. Oh, crap, I'm running out of vials. I just realized that. Let's try that again. See, I was backed up right in the corner. Oh. I've never had that happen before. She just smashed me once and killed me. That was kind of awesome. Not gonna lie, that was kind of cool. Alright, one thing I'm going to do here, in case I end up in a bad situation next time. I got my echoes, so I didn't lose them. But wow. I've never had that happen before. The game had pity on me. It just gave me my echoes back. It's just like, oh, here you go. Here you go. Don't worry. It's okay. So, note to self: don't run right face first in the boss. Got it. Yeah. Big anger. Big anger. Ooh. Okay, you can see how she's doing the slams in the back there. I just want to get her to jump. I almost feel bad for doing this. I just kind of destroyed her there. Okay, that was kind of cheap on my end. I kept on her arms too much. I actually feel bad for that. Don't feel bad, right? Don't feel bad. Yeah, don't feel bad. She do to you. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Okay. So we have the Alien Loran Chalice. That's going to give us access to some additional Chalice dungeons. So, good to have. Now, we have a new lantern. Light the lamp, not the rat. Okay, so let's do a little bit of item reading here because we haven't done any so far. So first things first, you should get a trophy for defeating the Amygdala. And in the requirements, it actually says defeat Great One Amygdala. So again, reaffirming to some extent we're fighting a Great One. That doesn't always mean true Great One. But again, I do believe the Amygdalas are true Great Ones because of the way they've been deified around the city. The other thing you should get is Chalice of Alien Loran, because that is the chalice we got for defeating Amygdala. So let's look at some items, because we picked up a few things here, and I have not been looking closely at them. So we got the Messenger's Gift, which is one of our trophy items. Let me look at this. That's the Hunter's Craft trophy. So I'll put that in the notes, of course. Messenger's Gift, a strange gift from the messengers, inhabitants of the dream who revere the brave hunters. Used to envelop oneself in a black, nightmarish mist, then transform into a messenger. The illusion is a parlor trick, and any large movement will break the spell. To preserve the guise, proceed very slowly. And so I think there's some items in Dark Souls that are kind of like this, but I think essentially literally turns you into a messenger, and I don't know if the enemies recognize you as an enemy. The other thing we got was a bunch of runes. So, let's see. First was Fading Lake. So, let's see. Where's Fading Lake? Okay, Fading Lake. Let's see. This transcription of the Great One's inhuman voices ripples like a watery reflection. The rune means lake, and those who memorize it enjoy reduced fire damage. Great volumes of water serve as a bulwark guarding sleep, and an augur of the eldritch truth. Overcome this hindrance and seek what is yours. Okay. So what else did we get? Metamorphosis, I think we've already done, so we just have a better Metamorphosis one. Because Fading Lake was entirely new. That was Clockwise Metamorphosis was the one we got, which we've already had. So that's another HP one. One thing that's kind of cool about the rune designs is if you look at the old Clockwise Metamorphosis versus the new, it's a little bit more of a clear rune, which I think is kind of interesting. Stunning Deep Sea, I believe, was new. Completely new, yeah. This transcription of the Great One's inhuman voices depicts down-reaching currents. This rune means deep sea and grants augmented rapid poison resistance. Great volumes of water serve as a bulwark guarding sleep, and an augur of the eldritch truth. Overcome this hindrance and seek what is yours. Okay. Hey, Bree, welcome back. You missed me get smashed to death in one hit by a boss in a fight. Okay, let's see. Clear Deep Sea and Great Deep Sea are the other two. Clear Deep Sea we had, so that's just more slow poison, and Great Deep Sea. Didn't we have a Great Deep? No, we didn't. No, maybe. Wait, where's Clear Deep Sea? Oh, there, really right in front of me. No, and we did have one. Wait. Great Deep Sea, not clear, I just read clear. Great Deep Sea, there you are. So that's general resistance. Oh, all types of resistance plus... Okay. That one's new, I think. We didn't have any like that before, so I don't see any in the mix. The transcription on this transcription of the Great One's inhuman voices depicts the down-reaching currents. This rune means deep sea and grants augmented general resistance. So this is resistance overall, which is nice. That's nice to have. All right. Dare I ask what floor time is referring to? So we also have now the Alien Loran Chalice. All right, so in the Chalice dungeons previously, I think I've done most of the Tumera ones. But like I said, if anybody's interested in seeing like the Hintertombs or the rest of the Alien Loran or the Great Ease, let me know down the road and we can kind of consider that. So, Alien Loran Chalice, a chalice that breaks a labyrinth seal. Loran is a tragic land that was devoured by the sands. The tragedy that struck this alien land of Loran is said to have its roots in the Scourge of the Beast. some may have made the dreaded extrapolation that Yharnam may be next. And so I think what that's telling us, because we don't really know much about Lorraine, I think that just means it's another area that was hit by the Beast Scourge prior to us, kind of basically what it's saying here, which might mean that the Great Ones have been communed with before, but who knows? Because as far as we know, the Beast Scourge, in our sense, came from Ebrietas, but does that hint that there was another Great One that was found then? There were some that were pulled from the game, because I did see some designs, boss designs that were pulled from this game that are no longer in it. As far as active stuff we can do, I'm assuming it was deleted from the game entirely, but I'm not really sure. Okay, let's see. I don't think there were any other items that we got here, other than just random stuff that we're going to end up using later. There was some new items here, so let's see. Red jelly. I think that was our first red jelly. We got this in the lecture hall. That is really disturbing, by the way. It looks like a fetus. It looks like a steaming blood fetus. Red jelly, material used in a holy chalice ritual. Stillborn infants born of a creature of unknown origin, of the type found in some corners of the old labyrinths. And then there is the cold blood flower bud. Say that 3 times fast. Cold blood flower bud, material used in a holy chalice ritual. Pale vegetation that commonly grows on cold blood in a place long ago abandoned. Interesting. Which probably means it's a type of vegetation that grows in the labyrinths, essentially. So I think that's it. Okay, so anyways, I do have some notes I want to check out in the Hunter's Dream, but I actually meant to go there first, and I decided just to play it real smooth and go here first. That was a bad idea, but it worked out. I'm still alive, right? Sort of. May have died a couple times. So that was the younger. I don't know what that's. That was an immature amygdala. Let's go with that. Like the word immature is typically used for a lot of cases like this. So the amygdala is a Latin word. Typically, most people are used to hearing that as amygdala. The word means almond in Latin, and then it's thought to mean, I think it means, I've heard both almond and almond tree for Greek. Because if you look at the head of the amygdala, or if you look at the tonsil stone, it looks like an almond, essentially, sort of. Or more accurately, in the tonsil stone's setting, it kind of looks like an amygdala in a way. So the amygdala's head looks similar to the tonsil stone, and it kind of looks similar to the amygdala organ. And so the amygdala organ is just kind of described as an almond-shaped mass. It's part of the gray matter of the brain, and it's inside. It's kind of inside each cerebral hemisphere, and the amygdala is kind of associated, or thought to be associated, with fight or flight type responses. So it's kind of the core of the neural system that's used for fear response or for threat response, essentially. Which comes back to the core same idea of flight or fight. So it's used in detection of threats, activation of appropriate fear-related behaviors in response, such as something threatening you or something being aggressive towards you. So, which I think is kind of interesting. So I think that's all I really had on this one. Now I said that's an immature amygdala. The way you know that is if you go back to the waking world and look at the creature that grabbed us in the Yahar'gul chapel. That was a mature one, and if you notice, that one versus the one we just fought basically has a bunch of kind of tentacles coming out of its mouth. Very Cthulhu-y. One of my favorite designs in the game. I think they're really cool looking. And those are the same things that are hovering around the buildings in Yharnam, which I think it's a beautiful design. And I thought that was such a cool revelation once you get enough insight that you can see those. So that's about it. So let's head back to the Hunter's Dream. I don't think there's anything else we're missing there. Okay, so we already looked at everything that we needed to. Let's use up our cold blood. We'll put some items away. We have a lot of cold blood from there. These aren't all going to be the best because, again, we were there really early, or really late. We're supposed to go there earlier. Might be worth looking at some outfits too. I think that was it. So we need to put the Messenger's Gift and Augur of Ebrietas away. I'm trying not to keep stuff on my person. I'm going to put, again, some of my fighting stuff away. I'm actually going to put some of my outfits away too, because I can pull them out later as needed. Take those off. Let's see what the cost is for some of these. This is what we were missing. Like I said, I do like to collect the outfits, so I'm going to go for them. Go for the base. Okay, we got the whole outfit sets. Okay, good. Now I am going to stock those away at some point here. I don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, so much for leveling up. It's fine. Everything's fine. Let's put some stuff away for now. I'm going to drop this off just because I haven't been using it. Yeah, who needs levels? Don't worry, we'll work on leveling and stuff later in a way that's kind of unexpected. I'm going to hold on to the choir garb for arcane resistance. And I'm actually going to put away... I'm putting away all the new items, all the new clothing. So it's not that I don't want to FashionBorne. I'm always game for FashionBorne. Definitely out of blood vials, so I'm going to have to restock on those. I'm not putting myself in a good place for where we're going next, I'm telling you. This is not good. But we're getting close, very close to a Echoes run that we can use. So let's tune up my weapon before I forget. Okay, nothing there. I might just start clearing some of these out. Okay, physical attack. Add slow poison. I'm going to go for the higher attack. What was it that I had in my pistol versus HP continues to recover +2. I wonder how high you have to level up your pistol before you can really start sliding these in. That might actually be worth like playing with just for the heck of it. It is what I use constantly, and a little bit of extra damage might not be a bad thing. I could see that being really problematic for enemies if I had that ability. What do we think? I have a lot of like blood tinge boost here. I could really turn my pistol into like a wrecking ball in a way. The problem is I don't think it actually does much, but even with the boost. I'm not planning to level up much else at this point. I can't level up that. I really kind of want to try that. Clint, tell me not to. Tell me this is a bad idea. I don't see it as a bad idea though, because I'm like, what am I going to use my stuff for anyway? I mean, what am I really going to use it for? Yeah, do it. Okay. Thank you for talking me into it. Okay, +7 pistol. +7 pistol and a +7 Ludwig's Holy Blade. I love it. I kind of want to do the Hunter's Torch too, just for the sake of it. But you know, you pick up so much of those items. So, and then Blood Gem Fortification. What does that go up to? Does it just stay at 1? I wonder if it literally just stays at 1. That's kind of sad. But I suppose if it didn't stay at 1, then this stuff wouldn't matter as much. Because now I can pump my blood tinge up heavily. Because I don't think this HP continues to recover thing is doing much for me. Let's try it. I don't know if it's going to do much, but... Alright, so we decided to do a little bit of FashionBorne. There's a few sets that I was able to kind of partially collect throughout the game, and I realized we never actually put them on. One of the earlier ones was the Tomb Prospector set. We got the rest of the Crowfeather set last time. We also picked up a new part to the Yargle sets, finished off the Executioner set, and we just purchased the entire Canehurst set. So let's check those out. Let's do the Tomb Prospector. That's an older one, and that's associated with the church. So I'm pretty sure I did not fashion these ones out. Or if we did, I just don't remember. So it does look like your typical church set. It's got a bit of a different set on the front, but if you look at the back, it's got the kind of markings of the church. A little bit higher on the collar area. It's got kind of a little poncho on it instead of just like a normal cloak, kind of like the Hunter set. Now if we put the headpiece on, so it's just a hood, which is kind of cool actually. It's probably better off because the hair is definitely clipping there a lot. It's not a bad set. I mean, that's not bad. So these were the people that would actually go into the to the Temerian labyrinths and such, if I'm not mistaken. So what's the set say? Attire of tomb prospectors who explore the old labyrinth on behalf of the Healing Church. The Healing Church traces its roots to Byrgenwerth and is therefore aware of the ruins' true importance. They contain much more than mere hunter trinkets. Indeed, they hide the very secrets of the old Great Ones, hence the, the old blood and such, sought after by those with the insight to imagine greatness. So I do believe these were the keepers of the graves. If you remember the graves that were guarded by the Shadows of Yharnam people. Now this was the original Yargle set. It was kind of referred to as being one of the few hunter's outfits that comes with a metal part to it because of the face aspect. And while we were in Yargle for our second trip, we ended up finding this version of it, which is actually a full helmet without any hood. So I thought that would be worth checking out. Not really my style, but it is kind of cool in a way. I'm not much of a helmet person. I'm not much of an armor or metal person. I like the leather and cloth type stuff, but if you're into that stuff, if you're into that, the Canehurst set's probably going to be for you. Okay, so the other set we were looking at was Executioner. So these were the people that hunt the Vilebloods. Now this is kind of the way Alfred dressed. So the church outfits, like the ones we've been seeing, were based off of this, if I am not mistaken. So if we look at... No, I don't want to be naked. So Executioner garb, attire worn by the band of executioners commanded by the Mitre Logarius, later became the basis for all church attire with its heavy draping of holy shawls. So that's the origin of that, which I think is kind of interesting. And then after we sent Alfred in to see the Vileblood Queen, the Ardeo here is what he was wearing. So this kind of a metal headpiece. It's kind of interesting. How do they fight? I am confusing. Is it me or is the headpiece like tilting? It's like tilted off to the side a little bit. Interesting. Okay. So overall, I would say, again, I'm not a fan of. I don't understand how you're supposed to see through that. So if we take away the Ardeo, okay, I could deal with that. That's actually a pretty cool set. I don't mind that one. And I know some people seem to like it, and I can understand why. It's a bit of a beefy cloth set, but that's because of the cape, I think. Now, the other kind of two sets I was really interested in looking at were the Canehurst set and the Crowfeather set. If you recall back when we fought the Bloody Crow, I said how it looked like he was wearing a combination of Canehurst and Crowfeather garb. So let's look first at the Canehurst armor. I have actually never seen this before. Let's look at it, just clothing first. So, oh, I actually kind of like that. That's kind of nice. Clint, it kind of reminds me of like the Dancer of the Boreal Valley in a way. What do you think? Oh, that is kind of cool. I kind of liking that. That's not bad. Again, metal's not my style. I do believe it said something on the lines of this that this is supposed to be like really thin metal, which I think is kind of cool because the hunters use a quicker fighting style. And let's see what that looks like up close. It's definitely kind of metallic. The reason I say it reminds me of the Dancer is because the Dancer had an armor set, but it was light. It looked very light for armor. Yeah. So then we're referring to Dark Souls 3 here. Dancer was probably one of my favorite boss designs in the game because she was creepy AF when she first approaches you. I didn't think she was terribly difficult, but because she kind of leaves herself open, but she can shred if you let your guard down. Now the helmet, the Canehurst helmet, I think this is what the Bloody Crow was wearing. It's something on this line. It was as far as the helmet goes, because he was wearing Crowfeather garb. The hair in the back is part of the helmet. That's not my hair. So on the whole, I would actually say that that's actually not bad. If I took away the helm, maybe switched to a heavier set of pants. I don't know if like the kind of like waist setup. No, see that goes under the pants. So like if you did maybe like a mix with Crowfeather, they don't quite match. I think you'd want to go with something more like a dark material. But I could see if you get a nice black underlay of pants, I think that would actually be kind of a cool touch. Because I'm not a fan of the metal on the legs. And if you kind of look at the underwear goes inside the pants. And honestly, the minus the gauntlets, that actually isn't too bad looking on that level. So lastly is the Crowfeather as far as the ones we've missed previously. The Crowfeather I personally really like. So if you look at the jacket for this without looking at the feathered cape, it kind of looks like a constable's jacket that we find later on in the Hunter's Nightmare. But the part that makes this more like that makes this Eileen's design, it's the feathered cloak. Now I know that the feathers are supposed to kind of give like a wing effect, I do believe. That's why it's parted in two. But it's kind of an interesting outfit in that way. Now I'm not a big fan of the mask that goes with it. I'm not against it. I'm not a fan of pointy hats, and I can understand why they'd want to wear the mask, but I actually like this with the Hunter's set. So if you put on the original Hunter's mask, I think this goes together really nicely. Now, when I first came across the Bloody Crow, I was kind of thinking that this was kind of what I was seeing. It's the Crowfeather garb plus the helm. I'm not sure if that was exactly what it was meant to be, but that's what I was... When I saw him up close, that's kind of what that reminded me of. If we switch this to the Hunter's hat, to me, that's a nice touch. Well, let's also switch to Hunter's trousers, I think. Oh, they actually don't look that different. I thought they would be a little bit darker looking. I guess you don't realize how not dark they are when when you have a darker overlay. But that's kind of the look I liked from this, was the hat, and the feathering on the hat goes really nice here, I personally think. So I really like this look. It's really cool. We wanted to check this with Canehurst. So if you put that with the Canehurst, actually that doesn't look too bad, I don't think. So the pants are a little bit darker than what I was thinking they were. They're definitely a little bit tighter too around the legs, which you'd expect with a set like this. So let's try mismatching with gas coins. We're really going hard here on that. Honestly, I think I like the Hunter's ones better. Gascoigne's pants are just too fancy, man. Look at that. Look at the seam on those babies. I mean, come on. Look at the seam. Come on, look at those. Those are some fancy pants. Oh, he's even got the big belt buckle going. Come on. But I do like the Hunter trousers with the metal. That, I think, goes decently well. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Okay, so this is the set that we picked up in Byrgenwerth for the student set. This set I'm going to keep on me for now because there's a certain character that wears it that will be seen in the next episode, and I think it's a good model for what I want to show. So, this is the student set. We found a new student set in the lecture area. The pants are the same, but the top's a little different. It's more of like where you have more of a kind of a lecturer's set. So it's basically you throwing on like a graduate cape over it, basically. We need to make robes standard again for professors. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that'd be kind of fun. As long as we don't have to wear the hats. The hats really bother me. They get really irritating, but I do like the robes. And it would give me a good reason to wear my graduate hood, so we'll do a quick check, see if we have any blood vials. I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford any. Oh, 9. Just enough to have one full set of blood vials. Perfection. That's exactly what I wanted. Not really, but get one more bullet. All right. That is a good place to close things out. To recap, we made our way to the Augur Chapel and allowed the Amygdala there to grab us. Since we had the Tonsil Stone, we were brought to the lecture building, which is a nightmare version of a Byrgenwerth lecture building, or lecture hall, or whatever you want to call it. And there we went through a door that transported us to the Nightmare Frontier, an awful place filled with strange beasts and a poison pool. And how very Soulsborne and Miyazaki could that be, right? Eventually, we made our way to a stadium-like chamber in the Nightmare Frontier, where we fought an immature Amygdala, similar to the great ones on the buildings in Yharnam, and similar to the one that grabbed us, but without the massive tentacles, and I believe its size is a bit smaller too. We also received the Alien Loran Chalice for taking out the Amygdala, which we will make use of later. For our next move, we will return to Yharnam and make our way to Advent Plaza in Yarhagul, where we found the mummified corpse. So the Unseen Village is our next stop. With that being said, let us close things out. I will be continuing tonight, so if you are here live, stick around. Otherwise, thank you all for joining, and I will see you all later.